darshayan. And the purpose of him coming to the supreme position is Swaraje Sthapya Dharmaja. That he wanted to establish the principles of religion. And further, Uttarayam Dhrita Puro Vamsa Sadhu Abhimanyuna Savai Drona Astra Samprushta Punar Bhagavata Dhrita. So the descendants of Maharaj Yudhishthir, amongst them was the son of Abhimanyu, who was in the womb of Uttara. The embryo of Puru's descendant, begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu in the womb of Uttara, his wife, was burned by the weapon of son of Drona. But later he was again protected by the Lord. We discussed this. So from today's verse, 18th verse, Ayajaya Dharma Sutam Ashwamedas Tribir Vibho Soapi Shamam Anujay Raksha Reme Krishnam Anuvrata. The Supreme Lord induced the son of Dharma, that is Maharaj Yudhishthir, to perform 3 horse sacrifices. That is Ashwamedha. Horse sacrifice is Ashwamedha. And how many? Tribhir. 3 horse sacrifices. Constantly following Krishna, the personality of Godhead, protected and enjoyed the earth assisted by his younger brother. That is Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir. Dharmaraj Yudhishthir enjoyed the kingdom which was protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he was assisted by his 4 younger brothers. Maharaj Yudhishthir was an ideal monarchical representative on the earth because he was a constant follower of the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna. As stated in the Vedas Ishopanishad, the Lord is the proprietor of the entire manifested cosmic creation, which presents a chance for the conditioned soul to revive their eternal relationship with the Lord and thus go back to Godhead, back home. What is this reference? That as stated in the Vedas Ishopanishad, the Lord is the proprietor of the entire manifested cosmic creation. So what is this reference? The Lord is the proprietor of the entire manifested cosmic creation. Who can share? Only one. Why only one? Everyone should know this principle. Is the Lord owner and controller of the entire cosmic manifestation? Yes or no? बोलिए, आप सहमत हैं या नहीं है? अगर है तो प्रमाण बताइए. What is the proof? Where is the proof? The proof is in the Ishopanishad. So what is that proof? जल्दी बोलो भाई, इतना टाइम नहीं है. माननीय माता जी प्लीज बताइए.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी पता है ओम पूर्णमदम फास्ट श्लोक कर
हाँ,
ओम प्रभु जी फास्ट श्लोक जो है ओम पूर्णमदम पूर्णमिदम।
ना ना, वो गलत है. वो श्लोक नहीं है।
ईशावास्यमिदं सर्व।
है तुक्का मार मार के कर रहे। पहला नहीं हुआ तो दूसरा ही सही। पूरा श्लोक बताओ, नहीं तो नंबर 0 मिलेगा।
पूरा नहीं आता फिर।
क्यों, किसको किसको देना, आपके स्टूडेंट याद करेंगे क्या? मनोराम प्रभु आप बोलो श्लोक। अनम्यूट एंड प्लीज प्रोनाउंस। आप लोग याद तो करोगे नहीं ना, बच्चे इतने याद करते हैं, आप लोग को शर्म नहीं आती? यू आर पीपल शेमलेस पीपल, और यू फील दैट देयर इज नो नीड टू डू। डेली एक एक वीडियो भेजती है अमोहा, आप लोगों को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। बोलो बोलो ना। बहुत बेसिक है ये। अनम्यूट करके बोलो तब सुनाई देगा ना।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। फर्स्ट
इतनी देर
लाइन
में
ओनली
तो
प्रभु
आपने
जी।
ढूंढ लिया होगा, अपने लैपटॉप पे ढूंढ के देख लिया होगा।
नहीं प्रभु जी, याद नहीं है तो फर्स्ट लाइन
याद तो
ओनली
नहीं है,
प्रभु
वो
जी
तो मैं
हमारे।
जानता ही हूँ। आप में से किसी को याद नहीं है, और किसी ने प्रयास भी नहीं किया है। टेल मी ऑनेस्टली, डिड यू एवर ट्राई? दिस इज द
नो।
सिचुएशन। दिस इज द सिचुएशन that not even any effort has been made. बोलो दर्शन, यू हैव टू प्रोनाउंस द फुल मंत्रा। इतनी देर में तो देख लिया होगा, सब बस चालू है, सबके
जी
पास
ईशावासम
मोबाइल
इदम
फोन
सर्व।
है। ये क्या इतना है, ये कितना है भैया ये? उपनिषद इतना ही है क्या?
प्रभु जी, in that verse also it is said that tena tvaktanva bhanjita, that whatever kota one has, that one should enjoy, not
नो।
try to impose upon other.
ईशावाचम इदम सर्व यत् किंचित जगतयाम जगत, that is what everything belongs to the supreme lord. You have omitted that. यत् किंचित जगतयाम जगत, then there is तेन तक तेन भुंजिता। ये सब लोग कल याद करना, टुडेज होमवर्क, ठीक है? एंड मोहा विल सेंड अस द वीडियो। ठीक है पुरुषोत्तम, ईशावास्यम इदम सर्वम पूरा अच्छे से याद कराना। और वो कहाँ है, रेयांशी कहाँ है? वो क्लास नहीं सुन रही है आज? हाँ, बीच में बैठाओ, बीच में।
मुझे साइड में बैठी थी।
नहीं, बीच में बैठो, बीच में स्पेस खाली है। एक कुबेर तो ऐसा बैठता है ना ताकि दिखाई ना दे, उसको कुछ सुनाई भी नहीं देता है, वो कुछ नहीं सुनाई देता है। वो देखो कैसे बैठा है, ताकि वो पता ना चले कि वो देख रहा है, सुन रहा है या नहीं सुन रहा है। दोनों जने ऐसे बैठेंगे, जहाँ कैमरा है उसके उससे दोनों अलग अलग बैठेंगे ताकि कैमरे में कुछ दिखाई ना दे। तो अच्छा है, कुछ नहीं आएगा, वो ऐसे ही रह जाओगे ब्लैंक। बाकी सब लोग कैमरे के सामने बैठते हैं, ये कैमरे से ऐसे बैठते हैं कि दिखाई ना दे। अभी भी कोई फर्क फर्क नहीं है। मत रहने तो, मुझे मुझे देखने के लिए चाहिए क्या? So, as stated in the Vedas Upanishad, the Lord is the proprietor of the entire manifested cosmic creation, which presents the chance for the conditioned souls to revive their eternal relationship with the Lord. and thus go back to Godhead, back home. The whole system of the material world is arranged with that program and plan. Anyone who violates the plan is punished by the laws of nature. Please see. Anyone who violates this plan is punished by the law of nature, which is acting by the direction of the Supreme Lord. Maharaj Yudhishthir was installed on the throne on the earth as the representative of the Lord. The king is always expected to be representative of the Lord. What is the word that the king is the representative of the Lord? What word is used? In the first canto we heard so much of Parikshit Maharaj. Pradeep, what is the Sanskrit term? That the king is a representative of the Lord? Ramendra Prabhu? Yes, Pradeep, okay, speak. Don't recollect, you cannot recollect. Ramendra? Priyanka? Poor. पुरुषोत्तम आप बताओ.
प्रभु नरदेव.
Yeah, Naradeva. There are two words. One is Naradeva. What is the second one? You know, Dayashil?
Prabhuji, Raj Rishi.
No, it is not Rajrishi. Tukka maar diya, Rajrishi. Find out. It is there in the first canto. When appearance of Maharaj Parikshit comes, we discuss that. सारा भूल जाते हैं. Maharaj Yudhishthir was installed on the throne of the earth as a representative of the Lord. The king is always expected to be the representative of the Lord. So any leadership means representation of the Lord. Perfect monarchy necessitates representative of the supreme will of the Lord. And Maharaj Yudhishthir was the ideal monarch on this supreme principle. Both the king and the subjects were happy in the discharge of worldly duties, and thus protection of the citizens and enjoyment of natural life with full cooperation of material nature followed in the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir and his worthy descendants like Maharaj Parikshit. Very beautiful verse. Bhagavan api vishvatma lokaveda pathanuga kamam shishe vadvar yatyam asakta sankyam astitha. Bhagavan api vishvatma. He is the super soul of the entire world. Simultaneously, the personality of God enjoyed life in the city of Dwarka, strictly in conformity with the Vedic customs of society. He was situated in detachment and knowledge as enunciated by the Sankhya system of philosophy. Kamam Shisheva Dwaryatyam. Dwaryatyam is the city of Dwarka. And is asakta, is without attachment. Sankhya Masita, situated in the philosophical knowledge of Sankhya, knowledge and detachment. While Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emperor on the earth, Lord Shri Krishna was the king of Dwarka. Same time. When Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emperor of the entire world, Krishna was the king in Dwarka and was known as Dwarkadhish. Like other subordinate king, he was under the regime of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Just imagine. Krishna is the one who coronated Maharaj Yudhishthir. He is the kingmaker. And he himself was under the regime of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Krishna still accepted the supremacy of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Although Lord Shri Krishna is the supreme emperor of the entire creation, while he was on this earth, he never violated the principle of the Vedic injunctions because they are the guide for human life. Very important principle. Never violate the principles of Vedic injunctions because they are the guide for human life. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita which says that we should follow the principles? And following the principles, it gives inspiration to the general public. What is the verse? Very famous verse in Bhagavad Gita. Manoram, you know this verse? You should all know. We have so many years we have been discussing these principles. Manani Mataji, you know the verse?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी नहीं, याद नहीं आ रहा।
याद क्या नहीं, आपने भगवत गीता ठीक से पढ़ा ही नहीं है एक बार भी कवर टू कवर पूरे 700 श्लोक पढ़े हैं पूरे तात्पर्यों के साथ? हाँ या ना सीधे बोलिए।
नहीं प्रभु जी।
और आप उसके बाद भी पढ़ना नहीं चाहते आप लोग? एक बार समझ लो, भगवत गीता नहीं समझ में आई, कुछ नहीं समझ में आएगा। कितनी बार कह चुका हूं, लेकिन कोई सुनता मानता नहीं है अपने। कोई कहीं पढ़ता है, कोई कहीं पढ़ता है, कुछ करता है, इधर करता है, उधर करता है, कुछ नहीं आएगा। जिसने हाई स्कूल पास नहीं किया वो सोच रहा है मैं पीएचडी बन जाऊंगा। वाह। बोलो दयाशी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। यद् यत् आचरते श्रेष्ठ तत् तत् एव तारो जन मन मम वर्तमान वर्तन्ते।
नो नो नो, सेकंड लाइन इज रॉन्ग। यद यद आचरति श्रेष्ठ तत् तत् एव तरो जना स यद प्रमाणम कुरुते लोकस्तत् अनुवर्तते। This is the right. That whatever the person who is in leadership, yad yad acharati shrestha, whatever example he sets by his own conduct, so that the people in general follow. So what kind of example he should set? He should set the right example, religious example, perfect example. And here we see the perfect example by the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. Although he is Dwarkadish, he is the Supreme Lord. He is the one who has appointed and given the kingdom to Maharaj Yudhishthir. But still, he is showing others what we have to do. We have to accept the authority of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He never violated the principles of Vedic injunctions because they are the guide for human life, regulated human life according to Vedic principles, which are based on the system of knowledge called Sankhya philosophy. Is the real way of enjoyment of the necessities of life. Very important. If we follow these regulations according to Vedic injunction Shastras, then necessities of life will automatically come. Then you don't have to make too much effort for it. Without such knowledge, detachment and custom, the so-called human civilization is no more than an animal society. So without knowledge and without detachment and without following the principles, the human society is no better than the animal society of eat, drink, be merry and enjoy. The Lord was acting freely as he willed, yet by his practical example he taught not to lead a life which goes against the principles of detachment and knowledge. Attainment of knowledge and detachment, as very elaborately discussed in Sankhya philosophy, is the real perfection of life. Knowledge means to know that the mission of the human form of life is to end all the miseries of material existence. And in spite of having to fulfill the bodily necessity in a regulated way, one must be detached from such animal life. Very important. This is knowledge. To know the mission of human form of life. Fulfilling the demands of body is animal life. I am again repeating. Just fulfilling the demand of body is animal life. And fulfilling the mission of the spirit soul is a human mission or human life. Very clear and powerful example Srila Prabhupada is giving here. That fulfilling the demand of the body is animal life, and fulfilling the mission of the soul is human life. Snigdha smita avalokena vacha piyusha kalpaya charitrena anavadyena Sriniketana cha atmana. He was there in his transcendental body, that is the Supreme Lord, as Dwarkadish, the residence of the goddess of fortune. And with his usual gentle and sweetly smiling face, his nectarian words and his flawless character. Krishna's smile is called as Sriniketana. Sriniketana is the Krishna is the place where goddess of fortune resides, Sriniketana. And Smita Avalokena is a smile, a transcendental smile. In the previous verse, it is described that Lord Krishna, being situated in the truth of Sankhya philosophy, is detached from all kinds of matter. In the present verse, it is described that he is the residence of the goddess of fortune. These two things are not at all contradictory. Lord Krishna is detached from the variegatedness of the inferior nature, but he is in eternal blissful enjoyment of the spiritual nature or his internal potency. One who has a poor fund of knowledge cannot understand this distinction between the external and internal potencies. In the Bhagavad Gita, the internal potency is described as the Para Prakriti. In the Vishnu Puran also, the internal potency of Vishnu is described as Para Shakti. The Lord is never detached from the association of Para Shakti. This Para Shakti and our manifestations are described in the Brahma Samhita 5.37 as Anand Chinmaya Ras Pratibhavita. The Lord is eternally joyful and cognizant in the taste derived from such transcendental bliss. Negation of the variegatedness of the inferior energy does not necessitate negation of the positive transcendental bliss of the spiritual world. Please understand what is being discussed. What is being discussed? Can someone show light to what this statement is meaning? This purport Srila Prabhupada is quoting. In what context Prabhupada is quoting this? That about negation. बोलिए क्या अंडरस्टैंडिंग है? प्रियंका, you should participate. बताइए, what is being explained in this purport?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Radha Krishna.
Prabhuji, in this verse, it is said about Supreme Lord's Parasakti. His internal potency.
No, mainly it is talking about Krishna's detachment. What is being said about detachment? Negation.
Negation of the Vairagyatism of inferior energy means detachment from the matter.
Yes.
Because he is transcendental, he is eternal and full of knowledge and full of bliss.
You're not very clear. Anyway, the Lord is eternally joyful and cognizant in the taste derived from such transcendental bliss. Negation of the variegatedness of the inferior energy does not necessitate negation of the positive transcendental bliss of the spiritual world. Therefore, the Lord's gentleness, His smile, His character, and everything related to Him are all transcendental. Such manifestations of the internal potency are the reality of which the material shadow is only a temporary representation, from which everyone with proper knowledge must be detached. So from the shadow, one has to be detached, and from the origin, one has to become attached. Imam lokam amum cheva Ramayan sutaram yadu Reme shanadaya datta Shanastri shana sahrida. The Lord enjoyed his pastimes both in this world, Imam lokam, and in the other worlds, the higher planets, specifically in the association of Yadu dynasty. Yadu Reme Shanadaya. At leisure hours offered by the night. He enjoyed the friendships of conjugal love with women. Shana Stri Shana Sahride. The Lord enjoyed in this world with his pure devotees. Although he is the personality of Godhead and is transcendental to all material attachments, he nevertheless exhibited such attachment for his pure devotees on the earth, as well as for the demigods who engage in his service in the heavenly planets, as powerfully delegated directors in the management of all material activities. He displayed special attachment for his family members, the Yadus, as well as for his 16,000 wives who had the opportunity to meet him in the leisure hours of the night. All these attachments of the Lord's are manifestations of his internal potency, of which the external potency is only a shadow representation. In the Skanda Puran, Prabhas Khanda, in the topics discussed between Lord Shiva and Gauri, there is confirmation of the manifestation of Lord Krishna's internal potency. There is mention of the Lord's meeting with 16,000 cowherd damsels. Although he is the Hamsa, transcendental super soul and maintainer of all living entities, the 16,000 cowherd damsels are a display of 16 varieties of internal potency. This will be more elaborately explained in the 10th canto. It is said here that Lord Krishna is just like the moon and the cowherd themselves are like the stars around the moon. Did anyone understood what is being mentioned here? The 16,000 cowherd damsels. How many gopis were there? Were there only 16,000? What are these 16,000 cowherd damsels? Twice Prabhupada is mentioning. That 16,000 cowherd damsels and 16,000 cowherd damsels are a display of 16 varieties of internal potency. And previous to that, what is being written? That is 16,000 wives. He displays special attachment for his family members, the Yadus, as well as for his 16,000 wives. 16,000 wives, we all know. Krishna married 16,108 wives in Dwarka. But what are the 16,000 damsels? And what are the 16 varieties of internal potency? Bole, is there any understanding? Who would like to share? What is it? Bolo Ramya. You are on, no one of you are in the picture. What is the 16,000 cowherd damsels and 16 potency? Unmute करो और बोलो.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, there were many cowherd themselves, but out of them 16,000 were prominent.
Where?
Who were participated in Rasalila.
Where is it mentioned? Anywhere is it mentioned? It is mentioned only of the queens. That's 16,108 queens Krishna mentioned. Gopis, how many are prominent?
8 gopis are prominent.
Then why you are saying 16,100, 16,000? You are speculating? Where is it mentioned that 16,000 gopis were prominent? Can you show me one statement in any of Srila Prabhupada's book? You have gone to Mayapur how many times? How many times you have gone to Mayapur?
Four
At
times.
least 5 to 6 times. Do you find 16,000 damsels? Then why what is mentioning here was 16,000 damsels and 16 types of potencies? मनोराम, आपने तो सर्च कर लिया होगा इतनी देर में. क्या है? नहीं किया क्या? तो क्या कर रहे थे इतनी देर से? You figure out this is a homework for you. If you can find any reference. Actually, I also don't know. I don't know what are the 16 types of potencies and why gopis who are unlimited and the gopis who are prominent are few. They are Ashtasakis. So why Prabhupada is quoting twice 16,000 damsels in this purport? What it means? Prabhupada is saying this will be more elaborately explained in the 10th canto. It is said there that Lord Krishna is just like the moon and the cowherd damsels are like the stars around the moon. I'll take one more verse. Last verse. Tasya evam ramanasya samvatsara bahu grahamedishu yogeshu vigraha samjaya. The Lord was thus engaged in the household life for many, many years, of course, in Dwarka. But at last, his detachment from the ephemeral sex life was fully manifested. Even though the Lord is never attached to any kind of material sex life, as the universal teacher, he remained a householder for many, many years, just to teach others how one should live in householder life. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains that the word samajayata means fully exhibited. In all his activities, while present on the earth, the Lord exhibited detachment. This was fully displayed when he wanted to teach by example that one should not remain attached to the householder life for all the days of one's life. One should naturally develop detachment. Please hear very attentively, because all of you are in Grahastha order. So what Krishna has given the principle by his own example. So he wanted to teach by example that one should not remain attached to householder life for all the days of one's life. One should naturally develop detachment as a matter of course. The Lord's detachment from household life does not indicate detachment from his eternal associates, the transcendental cowherd themselves. But the Lord desired to end his so-called attachment to the three modes of material nature. He can never be detached from the service of his transcendental associates like Rukmani and other goddesses of fortune. As described in the Brahma Samhita, Lakshmi Shahasasata Sambrahma Seviman. Okay, I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. As usual, from your side, there is no question, no discussion, nothing to understand. रीडिंग हो गया, ये चैप्टर भी खत्म हो जाएगा. So many principles. We see how Krishna is himself taking the responsibility of becoming a role model to show the world by his own example. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेम।